Hello and welcome to the next part of data structures. In previous few parts we have revised C programming, we have seen basics of structures, pointers. We will be seeing functions and their implementation as we proceed through the syllabus. As everybody knows, this data structure syllabus is divided in various 6 units. The very first unit is itself divided in 6 portions. Those 6 topics are data and data type, a simple one which everybody knows. Second is data structures, from which we will be starting our session today. Third is abstract data type, then representation of information, characteristics of algorithm and program, and lastly analysis of programs. Now to start our discussion with data and data type, everybody knows what exactly a data type is. We know that a data is a raw, individual and unarguable fact. A common name, your simple phone number, your name, your address, your examination marks can be treated as a data. Any entity or a value which can be processed further, that part of information can be called as data. Now just keeping a data with us, keeping a data in hand is not sufficient. We have to process the data so that that data could lead to some of the information. Now what exactly is information? Information is a combination of data into a form that can answer a question. Now why data processing is necessary? The data processing is necessary just to find out or extract information out of it. What does information do? Information is a processed form of data which answers a typical sort of questions. Let me give you an example for this. Let us just say that for this syllabus I take 6 tests, one test for each unit. After 6 tests, I will be having a complete data of you all people containing your name, your roll number and the marks of each unit's test. So roll number 1 might have got 6 integers placed in front of his name as marks out of 20 for unit 1, unit 2, unit 3 up to unit 6. The same is case for last roll number. So this sheet which I generate is a complete simplest form of data. Now what does this data tell me? Practically nothing. Now to understand this data I need to process it. Now how do I process the data? I simply perform few operations on data. I find out the average marks for roll number 1, that how he has or she has performed over the complete semester. I can find out the average of all marks for unit 1 examination, average of all marks for unit 2 examination, just to see how a class as a whole, as a complete group has performed for this subject. So this is how you process the data, raw data, to generate information. The next topic, that is a processed information, is called as intelligence. What exactly is intelligence? Intelligence is a combination of information into a form that tells you a story and informs decision. Now let me just continue previous example. There might be a case that for some XYZ unit, let us just assume for unit number 4, the score of complete class or an average of complete class falls below the 50%. That simply means most of the students in your semester or in your class failed to perform nicely for unit number 4 examination. Now what does that piece of information tells me? That piece of information tells me that I need to focus more on unit number 4. I should give more elaborate example, I should give more focus on showing you animations and visualizations for the concepts. Now how did I get this intelligence? Because I know in previous semester before your batch, the previous batches also faced the same problem. That simply means that unit number 4 is a quite tough unit and it requires more focus, more concentration rather than or compared to various other units. That simply means I can have this piece of information combined with the information in hand, that is the average of results which I have calculated through it, and based on those two things I process my information and I come to an intelligence that unit number 4 is quite difficult, students are facing difficulty in answering questions of unit number 4, so I take decision. What decision? I need to revise few concepts of unit number 4 as it is very difficult unit, and I should give more elaborate explanations and more visualizations I should show to students so that their level of understanding should increase. So this decision is taken from the intelligence which is given to me from previous data as well as processed information in hand. What is the information? The average of all students, average marks of all students for unit number for examination. And from what I have deduced this information? From the completed data, that is the sheet of marks, Excel sheet of marks which contains marks of all the students for all the examinations. So this is how data is processed to information and is processed to intelligence. In data structure we work the same way. Now what exactly are data types? Everybody knows that whenever we write a program, whenever we write a simple code, we need to process some data elements. Now to process those data elements, we need to store them. Just by storing these data elements into empty locations is not enough. So for that you have to specify what type of data type they are having. So what exactly a data type? Data types are provided to store various types of data that is processed in real life. For example, if you want to store a phone number, that simply means you have to store a phone number in integer type. Or let us just say you want to store a percentage of marks. So percentage of marks can be in floating point number. So the data type for that variable should be floating point. Let us simply assume you have to store your own name. So to store your own name, a name can be a series of characters. So we have to use an array of character. So the data type of an array or a collection of characters should be char or characters. So each data type is mandatorily appended before or is mandatorily fixed before your data variable, so that compiler gets a complete idea what to do with that data. Now whenever we talk about data type, we know that in C programming we have integers, character, float, and likewise all 4 or 5 data types. Now void is also a data type, double is also a data type. So what does data type exactly tells the compiler? Typically speaking, data type tells about 3 things. First, it tells you about the type of data which it is going to process, whether it is an integer or a character or a floating point number or whatnot. Secondly, it tells you about the size of data. Now how do you find the size of data? Let me give an example. For 32-bit architecture, the standard allotment size for an integer is 2 bytes. That simply means integer variable can access 2 bytes memory location. Now what is the biggest number formed in or we can be storing in 2 bytes memory location? 2 bytes means 8 to the 16 bits. So that simply means 11111111 written 16 times. That is the biggest number it can process. If it is a biggest number, then we should give a range. That means some numbers before 0 and some numbers after 0. So what are those? So if you calculate, if you convert that 11111 in binary to decimal and just make it half of it before 0 and half of it after 0. So you will get minus 32767 to 32767 positive. Those are near about 65,000 numbers can be processed by your integer data type. Of course, the underlying architecture can increase the size of integer. Say for example, 64-bit architecture can give 4 bytes allotment to an integer, and so on. So accordingly, the range of integers change. But then accordingly, your compiler takes the decision what to do about those integers. Correct? So what does data type tells you apart from the exact type of data or exact characteristic of data? The data type also tells you about the size of data or the range of data which you are going to store in it. Character has a different range, integer has a different range, float has a different range, and all data types typically speaking have various different ranges. Your data is processed only according to that range. If you try to process the data out of range, your data type will not support it and it will throw an exception, it will throw an error. Correct? So such a type of facility is also provided by data type. That is second one. Another facility or another characteristics which is given by data types is data type tells you about the permissible operations which are performed on your data. Say for example, I have a character data type and a character variable z present on it. I cannot add 2 characters, correct? The end result of addition of 2 characters will not be a third character. So that means on characters I cannot perform arithmetic operations. Let us just assume I have a floating point variable present with me in my 2 variables. 2 variables contain 2 floating point values. So I cannot concatenate these two floating point numbers. That is not practically possible. The operation which is permissible on characters is not permissible in float. The operations which are permissible in float are not permissible in your integers. Few of the operations which are not permissible in integers, so on and so forth. So your data type tells about three things: actual data, secondly the range of data or a size of data, characteristic of data, size of data, and third, permissible operations present on data. We have written it over here in the last point. The data type determines the number of bytes to be allocated, that is second part, to the variable, and valid operations that can be performed on variable. So apart from your characteristic of data, your data type tells you about the range and permissible operations on data. Now what happens if I want to perform something which is not default data type? That simply means in C programming we cannot process, can we process rational numbers? Yes, we can process rational numbers, but do we have rational as a data type present in it? No. So then in that case we need to create a user defined data type. So that user defined data type creation is also permissible in C. We are going to see that user defined data type creation in upcoming topics in ADT. But before that, let us continue our discussion with data structures.